You just got done watching, listening to, and ingesting all the divine knowledge of our analysis of the white and blue pieces in this upcoming set, Zendikar Rising. It's time to see where truth applies in black and red, as we are once again going in Wooburg order. White, blue, black, red, green, multicolored artifact land. Wooburg Mall. Let's take a peek at Acquisitions Expert, 1 and a black. When Acquisitions Expert enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals a number of cards from their hand equal to the number of creatures in your party. You choose one of those cards, that player discards that card. I think this is a 5 out of 5 in, maybe 4 out of 5 in standard. 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 standard. I think that this card's really good. I think this card's really, really good. It is at worst just a 1/2 burglar rat, right? You play it and your opponent picks a card to discard, and that's it. If you are some sort of more creature-focused black deck that maybe has a warrior out and then you play Acquisitions Expert, you get to look at 2 cards and then discard one, which is disgusting to me. That's really good. I really like this. I'm going to give this a 4. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 in Constructed. I like it. This type of effect, I am generally bad at evaluating in Limited. So watch this. Alright, next card. Agadeem's Awakening. X triple black. It's one of these mythic flippers. You know we always give flippers high ratings. Here we go. Sorcery. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have a different converted mana cost X or less. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh. Hell yes. Fuck yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Luris, welcome back. And a 2-drop and a 1-drop. Yeah. Companions are a good mechanic again. Wow. Holy crap. And get this. If you don't want to cast it, just play it as a black source. Make it a little swampy guy. And I know it doesn't have the land type of swamp, but it does have all the personality traits of it, if you know what I mean. Look at this horse. Look at Agadeem's Awakening. 5 out of 5 in all formats. Vintage to... now. This is amazing. This is an amazing, 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 amazing card. Yeah, I was going to say standard Magical Sazerac, but I was trying to think, is there a more current, less... like, is there even like a smaller format than standard? Standard. Here's the thing. Love this card. Love this card so much. Can't stress this enough. Most of the time, this is just a land. How great is it to draw a swamp, but instead of it being a swamp, you just raise a bunch of shit from the dead. Ooh! Block constructed. That's the word, the grumbler. Block constructed. Block constructed. I knew there was something. Constructed block is just take the last set of cards that were released, build cards out of that. Who? My man, the grumbler, getting it. Agadeem the Undercrypt. Oh, Blackbloom Rogue. It's another flipper land. Didn't read a single bit of the text. Have only seen a little bit of the art. Probably 5 out of 5. 2 and a black for a menace 2/3. Blackbloom Rogue gets +3/+0 as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Fuck. Wow. And it's just a land. What? Wow. That's very good and limited. That's very good and limited. I think 5/3 menace creatures for 3 that occasionally just become land. That art is amazing. I want to get like a little bit of art modification. Have this extend up here. Have this little rope extend up there. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Blackbloom Rogue. Constructed, God, I mean, this even seems good enough for Constructed, right? This seems pretty nice. Some sort of mono-black rogue deck in Constructed. Just kick things off with the Acquisitions Expert, which, by the way, is also a rogue, right? Wow. 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 What? This is good. This is good, clean, mono-black rogue construction. I'm loving it. I'm into it, I'm loving it, and I want more of it. 5 out of 5 across the board. Yes. Blood Beckoning. 1 black, kicker 3. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If the spell was kicked, instead return 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Not a good constructed card, but a nice little limited card. You know, I generally like some effect that helps get some additional card draw. If I'm black, bringing back bomb creatures is a nice way to do that. And if you have just 1 bomb, you can just bring it back for 1 and recast it quickly. Shade of Grey says, is Brazen Borrower a rogue? It is. It's a fairy rogue. So it procs Robber of the Rich, which I have no idea if it's going to... Is Robber of the Rich rotating? Who knows? But there's some good stuff. Yeah, I think this is a nice little limited card to have. I'd give it maybe a 2. Maybe a 2 seems good. We haven't had really any 1 out of 5s, because if it's bad enough, I just don't give it a rating. Ah, look at me avoiding all the problems. Blood Price. 3 and a black. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. You lose 2 life. Gosh, what's the black card that's draw 2 cards, lose 2 life? What is that? It's a little slow. It's okay. Sign in Blood, that's the name of it. Sign in Blood. Yeah, Dark Bargain, I think, is the 4-coster. Yeah, there's just too many. There's too many. It's fine. I don't really give a shit about this card. This is fine. This is... Someone is holding something that is becoming purpler by the second. It's freaking her out, but she's elected to keep doing it. She thinks it's worth it. Bloodchief's Thirst. 1 black for a sorcery. Kicker, 2 and a black. Okay, so it's eventually the same price as Avraska's Contempt. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 2 or less. If the spell is kicked, instead destroy target creature or planeswalker. 5 out of 5 constructed. 5 out of 5. Woo! Bloodchief's Thirst. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. It's like a shitty Fatal Push. You love it. You'll love to see it, man. 1 black to just destroy it? Sorcery, though? Hell yeah, man. 5 out of 5. I mean, honestly, the fact that it's 1 black smash a thing is really nice. The fact that you can kick it and just destroy the pricier thing anyways is mega nice. Feels very good. For instance, if you're up against some aggro decks will do a thing, or I should say some more aggressive-ish decks will do a thing where they have, versus a control deck, they'll still keep in some of their 2 and 3 creatures, but then they'll maybe play a 5-mana planeswalker from the sideboard that can get value. So if you're against this kind of deck, you maybe want to include a Bloodchief's Thirst, because if they play one of those scary 1 or 2 mana things, boom, you want to blow those up. But then you also have the flexibility to, if you're later on, you don't just have a complete dead card. You can just pay the 4 cost. Yeah, it's sorcery speed. It sucks a little bit in that regard, but, hey, it seems great. It seems great. Love it. Oh, and obviously, 5 out of 5 limited. Obviously, it's so good. It's removal. It's removal that's sometimes cheap removal. Flap, flap, flap. Coveted Prize. Oh, yes. Oh, this was me in 2010, and this was a StarCraft 2 beta key. Please, please. And look at all of us. Just like, I'll do whatever I need to do. 4 and a black. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Ooh. Search your library for a card, put it in your hand. Shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. It's a party tutor. This is interesting because you can search your library for a card, put it in the hand, and then just cast a different spell. 0 out of 5 constructed. I don't see how the hell you will ever have a full party when you cast Coveted Prize ever. It's just not gonna happen. And you know what? We got tutors in Standard already. You know when we run them? When we just hit Platinum and we can't lose any stars at Platinum 4. That's when we run the Grim Tutors. Woo! Am I right, Legend VD? This is just a garbage Tron. Now in Limited, this could be okay. 0 out of 5 in Limited. If I see you running this in Limited, you are permanently banned from Day 9 TV. And I'll contact everyone I know at Twitch. I'll leverage my connections to make sure you never get to watch Twitch again. That's right. Don't run this card. It's bad. Don't get distracted by this gold here. If I can't figure out where this is going to work, you're not allowed to figure out where this is going to work. Moving on. Deadly Alliance. Kind of what we just established between you and I. 4 and a black. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. 5 out of 5 in Limited. Not necessary in Constructed. We have too much good stuff. 5 out of 5 in Limited. Because instant speed, 5 mana, delete a thing. Reliable. Good. Nice. It's been there for a little bit. You know what happens often with this puppy? Costs 4. You know what really turns me on about this one? When it costs 3. And absolutely get your Vince McMahon gifs ready, because this thing can even cost 1 black. It's pretty sick. Deadly Alliance. Love this in Limited. It's so good. Demon's Disciple. 2 and a black. For a 3/1 human cleric. It's not a rogue. It's a cleric. When Demon's Disciple enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Okay. Okay. What was the name? Oh, it was an older creature. But it was a 3/2. Plaguebringer, that's what it was. Plaguebringer. Absolute all-star card. I loved Plaguecrafter. Oh, it was Plaguecrafter, excuse me, not Plaguebringer. All of you are typing Plaguecrafter, and I'm just reading what I want to read. I think that this is going to be quite nice. This is going to be quite a nice card. One of the things that was great about Plaguecrafter is if you had some little cheap things, like, say, a Burglar Rat type card, like a 1/1 that made the opponent discard. So it's already had its effect. It's already been good. Then you play a bigger creature, you sack the little creature, and then your opponent also has to sack a little creature. So I think the fact that this is a human cleric that can go 1/1, it's a sacrifice effect, makes it very, very strong and limited, and I do think it has some 2 out of 5 kind of constructed merit to it. Has some merit. Yeah, it has some merit to it. If there's a way to sack something, that'll feel good. Let's be a little. Let's ask for permission before we paste URLs in this chat, please. All right. Otherwise, it's going to start filling up because everyone has a deck list. Look at my deck list. Look at my deck list. No worries, Bluefire. No worries. No worries. You just joined in here. Woo. Drana, the Last Bloodchief. 3 and a pair of blacks. Legendary creature, vampire, cleric. Ooh, so many clerics. Flying. Whenever Drana, the Last Bloodchief attacks, defending player chooses a non-legendary creature card in your graveyard. You return that creature to the battlefield with +1/+1 counter on it. The creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. Oh my god. Stunning bomb. Stunning bomb. Yeah, that's really good in Limited. That's really good. Because if I attack, I just start bringing things back. Bringing things back. A lot of blood coming out of the palm of her hand. She has a jugular in her wrist. Like, look at that thing, man. That is a lot of blood. Whoa! Oh my goodness. This can immediately end a game, like, really badly. Even if it only attacks once and then gets removed, I mean, that's stunning. In Constructed, Ooh, I'm really on the fence in terms of constructed on this one. Because this effect is amazing. Recurring Graveyard Resurrection. Can you imagine if you didn't have anything except an insane Mondo creature in there and it comes back? Because your opponent chooses just a non-legendary creature card. You know, like, I don't know, like an Agent of Treachery, maybe one of those things. I don't know. This is probably not going to be great in constructed, but I want it to be. Part of me feels a little bit like this could be good in constructed. Part of me feels like it could be good. That's all I got. Drana's Silencer. Uh-oh, we got a pair of fingers ready to snip, snip, snip. There it goes. 5 and a black for a 3/2. What? When Drana's Silencer enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures in your party. It's a Blight Breath Catoblepas. Oh my god, it's the Blight Breath Catoblepas. This is the same stats as the Blight Breath Catoblepas, but it's with a party. Very interesting. Sometimes this is a 3/2 that gives something -1/-1 until end of turn, and that really sucks. But given that this has similar stats to the Blight Breath Catoblepas, and it's a little easier to cast, I like it. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 in Limited. If you run it in Constructed, delete Chrome from your computer. Install Internet Explorer 6, and just browse on that for an hour, and how that felt is how I felt when you ran this in your Constructed list, okay? Dreadwurm. Ooh, art is good enough to build around. That feels nice. 4 and a black. For a 5/4 landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Dreadwurm gains indestructible until end of turn. Yes! Absolutely yes. Limited. This is a 5 out of 4. It rates itself. Love this one. The art is good. The effect is nice. The way that it can just smash the face. Oh, it's just begging you to say dumb phrases like, oh, my health is a resource, so I guess I'll go to 1. Yeah, like bullshit like that. This worm makes you say it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So good. What do we think about this in Constructed? We don't. Expedition Skulker. 1 and a black. For a vampire rogue, Expedition Skulker has Death Touch as long as you control another rogue. Spectacular. 4 out of 5 limited. Funny story, Julka. I was chatting with Mani, who was our historic expert in the Mythic Invitational. We were talking about deck constructions because we had to submit a deck as part of a segment, and I fucked up because I was at like 56 cards, and I was like, well, how do I close out this deck? Is there a low drop? Oh, Arboreal Grazer's a good low drop, and didn't realize the Arboreal Grazer had rotated, and I got completely shit on. That was a lot of fun. But anyways, yeah, no worries, Blue Fires. No worries, Blue Fires at all. You're the best. Don't worry. Don't even worry. Don't even worry about it. You didn't do anything wrong. We just time out links precautionarily in advance because there's a lot of bots that sub and then post links to like viruses and porn and shit. And we're okay with only one of those. So anyways, so Mani was talking about his his landfall ideas, and then he says, I think that with Uro still being in the set, I feel like landfall will be relevant. And I love the way that Mani said that. That is someone high up on the totem pole of the company. You know what I mean? Oh, yes. Uro with landfall mechanics? Yeah, I think it'll be relevant, Mani. I mean, a lot of us would say utter broken-ass bullshit. You say relevant. And that's the way it works when you're in a corporation, right? If you're one of the grunts at the bottom, you speak in a direct, straightforward fashion. If you're at the tippy top, it's hard to tell you're saying anything at all. At the bottom, you say things like, what the fuck? There is no fucking way we can get that shit done in time. If you are in the management role, you say things like, I think shipping by that date will present some real challenges. I have some concerns about that date. It feels a little aggressive. But if you're the CEO of the company, you say things like, I think for that date, manpower will be relevant. That's how you do it, right? The language gets so soft. Well, of course the manpower will be relevant. How else would we power the product than by having human beings make it? Of course it's relevant. I mean, I don't even know what's being said anymore. And that's why I try to alternate. This is how I speak, because things that it is important to use soft language because you're talking about stressful shit. You're talking about realities, right? Stressful shit, realities. See what I mean? It's an alternation. It's important to speak with tact, take a little bit of extra time to say, ooh, yeah, I think there's some real challenges. I think that shipping by that date might be infeasible. That's a good way to say to someone who is just proposing a date and maybe didn't have the full picture. It's a good way to not dunk on them. Not to go, Gary, are you a fucking psychopath? There's no fucking way, Gary. Go fuck yourself. Now Gary doesn't want to propose any dates because he's frightened. Right? I appreciate the softness of language, but I also find that that soft language, that someone who's attempting to be tactful, attempting to communicate the issues in a way that won't hurt so much, there's also a different set of people that are total morons, and they absorb these words and they spew them back out kind of like a malfunctioning robot. And if you try to dig under those words to what they're talking about, it turns out that if you stood next to their head, you would hear the ocean. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? The kind of person that you say, hey, do you think we can ship by this date? Well, I think that I want to make sure that I communicate with all the relevant stakeholders about what's going on and try to ensure that we have all the tools in place to be able to effectively ship by that date. Gary, can we fucking ship by February 12th, Gary? Do you have like a work back schedule? Show me, Gary. You know, one of those things. Man. Well, Sean, I think that with the manpower that we have, there's going to be some realities about the production pipeline that will be relevant. What are you talking about? Alright, let's get back to this deck review. I do think that the text on this card will be relevant, as opposed to irrelevant. Pace here says, my dad's name is Gary. That's okay, that's an innocent Gary. There's a lot of great Garys out there. There's like Gary Oldman. There's a lot of great Garys out there, okay? So, you know, I don't want to shit on any Garys. There's also bad Garys, like the Grey Merchant of Asphodel. One of the shittiest Garys around. That's why it never showed up in Standard. So, Expedition Skulker, you want 2/2s for 2 in your limited decks, and this is an extremely nice wall if you have another rogue. There's cards like 1/1 Death Touchers in green that are perfect for just delaying the game, because it feels like they always trade up. This is a really nice way to just drop it on down. Feed the Swarm. That's what I'm doing with you right now. 1 and a black. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's converted mana cost. Nice. Really nice. Shit. 4 out of 5 constructed. Absolutely playable and hooray-able. Why do we like Feed the Swarm? Sorcery speed stinks a bit, but enchantments are really getting some nice power level boosts. Mono black or Rakdos lists, things like this, that really struggle with enchantments. This is a way to deal with them. Farrakha's Libation from recent sets were showing up in sideboards because, well, first of all, Wilderness Reclamation was a real pile of garbage, huh? That thing ruined lives. So you'd run a Farrakha's Libation to make them sack the enchantment. This is a little bit more of a direct mechanism to target things that will soon be banned, such as Feladar's Retreat. By the way, Feladar's Retreat is still my horse for this entire set. I love that. Or the Censor Land. Terrific card. Obviously also terrific in Limited. It's terrific. Ghastly Gloom Hunter. Aw, yeah. Oh, the Gloom Hunter is stealing the cutest little piggy. Oh. 1 and a black for a 1/1 that has flying and lifelink. You can kick it for 4. Ghastly Gloom Hunter was kicked. It enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Terrific limited card. Terrific. Oh, I did my math wrong. Above average. absolutely minimally acceptably awesome for me to want to include this card that does do something in Magic the Gathering. Ghastly Gloomhunter, a 1/1 for 2 with flying lifelink. It can occasionally come out as a 3/3 flyer with lifelink for 6. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. I think Ghastly Gloomhunter is okay. It's an okay limited card. Constructed, not a chance in hell. Nope. Even if you just installed Magic the Gathering Arena, got this as a free card that you opened on your first free pack, immediately turn it into dust and craft something else. Guul, Draz, Mucklord. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. This is Guul Draz, as played by Ben Stiller. Look at that. 2 and a black. When Guul Draz Mucklord dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Ooh, that blue steel. Oh, yes. This card's okay. This card's okay. But he's just absolutely looking back at you, you know what I mean? He's just, he's doing that sweet move. This is just not an intimidating shot. This is a fabulous shot of Guul Draz Mucklord. I love this. Guul Draz Mucklord. It's fine. It's fine. It's a centipede. We used to run centipedes. We'll probably run Mucklords. This guy, Guul Draz Mucklord, just has way too elaborate a name for how mediocre the card is. It's not a constructed card, but it's fine. Hagra Constrictor. Hagra is a very good witchy name. It's a Hagra Constrictor. 2 and a black for a 0/0. It enters the battlefield with some +1/+1 counters. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has a mean ace. It's okay. It's an okay limited card to allow you to put the pressure on and to hurt stuff. How many +1/+1 counters will you get? I don't know, so I do not have the tools to evaluate Hagra. Follow the sun for 3 days to the home of Agra. Is it suffocating a skeleton? Don't know. Oh, that movie's so tight. Hagra mauling. 2 and a black. Spell costs 1 less to cast. If an opponent controls no basic lands, destroy target creature. Hagra Brood Pit enters the battlefield tapped. This one is incredible in limited. This is a 6 out of 5 in limited. In constructed, I mean, I don't really think... It's got to be at least pretty good, right? It's got to be at least pretty good. I'd give it maybe 4 out of 5. Seems good. Seems nice. Seems nice. I mean, it's like a murder. It's a murder. It's a murder land, right? We have a censor land. We have a murder land. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Some Brighton says, how good is 3-cost creature removal? You misunderstand. This is saying, how good is it if this swamp could occasionally kill a creature? And the answer to that is real fucking good. So I'd give it a 6 out of 5 in all formats. Unbelievable card. I love it. I love these land spells so much. It's so good. Oh! By the way, it's a land. It's a land. It's a land. It's a land. It's the Hagra mauling is the same as the Hagra Brood Pit. It's a land. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay. I was going to ask you to hold on because I had something I wanted to say, and I need everyone to just hold their bananas. But then I forgot what I was going to say, so I kept gesturing to buy more time to remember what it was that I wanted to buy time for in the first place. But I don't have that much time anymore. It's gone. Never again will I remember what on earth I was talking about. Alright. Highborn Vampire. This is a card that has a lot of lore on it. Inscription of Ruin. 2 and a black. That you can kick for another 4. Okay, so we can kick for 7 at sorcery speed. Choose 1. If this spell was kicked, choose any number instead. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. This is an okay limited card. I'd give it like a 4. It's like a 5. It's like a 5 is what I'd give it. 3 mana for something that's like deal 3 damage to any target or deal 4 damage to any target. I like. This just destroys a target with converted mana cost 3 or less, which I like. And then I can kick it to do a bunch of shit. Neat. Like it. Flexible. Good. If you run it in constructed. What do I want you to do if you're running constructed? Something bad, certainly. I want you to get one of those slip and slides, but don't put any water on it. Just try to slide down it dry. Lithiform Blight. 1 and a black. Enchant land. When Lithiform Blight enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchant land loses all land types and abilities and has add colorless. Or pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Ooh! Some of that Phyrexian Landoing. Oh yeah, look at this. This, in case any of you don't know, is a very oaky kneecap. That's all I see. This is a knee right here. Oh yeah. Okay. What do I even think about this? It's fixing. It's fixing, so like if I am a base black deck that's trying to do like 4 colors or nonsense, I can just like Lithiform Blight my shit and get a bunch of other things. I don't know. You can use it to, you know, okay, actually here's where this is good. In an older format where lands are like win conditions, you can cast this and delete the effect. Like Phyrexian Tower, where you can sack a creature and generate 2 black mana, you can just Lithiform it. You can just Lithiform it. Just Lithiform it. It's not a big deal. If you run this in limited, you're a dummy. If you run this unlimited, then you probably are the same person that responds to that email from the Prince of Nigeria. Malakir blight-priest. 1 and a black. When Malakir blight-priest enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures in your party. So at the very least, this is a drain for 1. This could be a cooler way to maybe drain for 2 or drain for 3. Totally mediocre limited card. Totally. Just mediocre. Just mediocre. Cast this on a Lotus Fit. That has hexproof. This is mediocre. I don't, you know, it's like a 2 out of 5. It's a better choice than 2/2 for 2. Actually, if I can just interject briefly. The air quality is so bad in Los Angeles. I have like such a headache and have been like coughing. And I have no fever, so don't worry, I don't have corona. But my God, I try to go outside and walk, and within like 10 minutes, like my eyes burn, man. It's so bad. Yeah, I don't think this makes the most sense in constructed, because again, I think party will be an incidental one. I think it will be an incidental mechanic, not a build-around mechanic, so I don't think that you'll ever really be able to drain for a ton. And if you can, you just run the Throne of Eldraine Knight that drains for X, where X is the number of knights you control, or zombies, or whatever it is. Malakir Rebirth. Ooh! Oh yeah, look at all of these ghastly-looking guys that were also in quarantine, unable to get a haircut, and they've done the good old number 3 special. Look at that. Malakir Rebirth for 1 black, which, by the way, is also a lando. Choose target creature. You lose 2 life. Until end of turn, that creature gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under tapped under its owner's control. Ooh. Ooh. 5 out of 5. Constructed and limited in all things. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. You know, like chump block something and then it like comes back to the battlefield. And if it has an ETB effect, such as that rogue that enters the battlefield and makes you discard, like imagine a burglar rat with this effect on it. Oh my god. Hiya, 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 hiya. And it can enter the battlefield tapped. You love it. Marauding blight-priest. 2 and a black for a vampire cleric. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Ah. Paragon, that's a great point. You can double up a Croxa. You can play a Croxa on turn 3, Malakir rebirth it, it goes to the bin, comes back immediately, discards another one, goes to the bin. You love to see it. This is kind of interesting. I think that Orzhov life gain is kind of cool. Kind of cool. You can create a lot of just like massive ping-pongins with cruel celebrants and marauding blight priests and other things. You know, you probably want some vetoes in there for redundancy. Could be kind of cool. Could be kind of cool. Could be kind of cool. It's nice. You love it. You love to see it. Give me Extort back. Oh, Extort was the absolute nuts. Magical Sazerac. I loved it. I probably might be able to make like a tier 3 deck and constructed with this, but, you know. It's a 3-2 for 3. That's a cleric. Seems totally runnable and limited. And occasionally you ping-pong somebody. It seems nice. Mind Carver. It's 1 black. When Mind Carver enters the battlefield, attaches to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. It gets +3/+1 instead, as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Oh. Oh. Zero out of 5 in every situation, period. 0. Absolute garbage. Even if you're running a rogue deck with bonus mill interactions, it's terrible. Just run another creature that benefits off it. I think it's an absolute noper. A nopey in the pepperopy. I think it's just terrible. I think it's a stinker. It's not good. It's more like the Mind Disappointer. You know what I'm saying? Don't like it. Mind Drain. 2 and a black. Target opponent discards 2 cards, mills a card, loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. Mind Rot. I am breaking up with you because it's you. I've found someone strictly better. Mind Drain. Oh, Mind Rot sucks a lot. Look at this. Discards 2 cards, mills a card, loses a life, gain a life. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Still probably terrible in all formats, but I like Mind Rot in a draft deck. I like it. I like trying to figure out a way to run that card in there because it's a good way to just see pain on someone. You know? Just to see the pain a little bit. Feels so good. Oh, yeah. This is great. This is great. Just do a little bit of everything. You know what's cool? All the mechanics that have anything to do with the black color in Magic the Gathering. We mill, we discard, you lose life, I gain life. Love it. Nighthawk Scavenger. Oh, 5. Oh my god. I'm going to give this a Tarmogoyf out of 5. 1 and a pair of blacks for a Vampire Rouge. Flying Death Touch Lifelink. Nighthawk Scavenger's power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyard. So that would be like land, enchantment, artifact, creature, instant, sorcery. A flying potential like lifelinking 3/3, lifelinking 8/3, or lifelinking 7/3. Hold on. Creature, planeswalker, instant sorcery, artifact, enchantment, land. 7, right? 7, right? 7? So it is 8 out of 3, right? Right? Because it's creature, planeswalker, artifact, enchantment, instant sorcery, land. There's no such thing as tribal. There's no such thing as tribal. Get the fuck out of here. Why don't you go install Magic the Gathering online and then say, it still has too many graphics, and then open up Microsoft Excel, okay? There's no such fucking thing as tribal. Get out of my chat. Get out of my chat. Go watch Caleb MTG, okay? We don't want tribal asserters in my stream. Okay. Gross. Tribal's a type of card? No. That's like one of those things that's like, did you know that a tomato is actually a kind of fruit? Yeah, you know what? And a nut is a kind of rice. Like, why do you say weird shit to me, okay? Just eat your tomato, just have 7 card types in your graveyard, and leave me alone. Alright. This card is astounding, though. This is astounding. This is a good card. That's a good line. I'm going to use that one later. Caleb's great. Caleb is a fantastic streamer. But anyways, Nighthawk Scavenger is, 3/3 Flying Death Touch Lifelinkers for 3 would get me excited. It's a rogue. It continues to get bigger. It synergizes extremely with mill. It's not legendary. You can have more than one. It just does it all. It's just an amazing creature. It's amazing. It's amazing. It is amazing. Nimana Skitter-sneak. Oh, and 1,000 out of 5 unlimited. Nimana Skitter-sneak. 3 and a black. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Nimana Skitter-sneak has +1/+0 and has menace. Very good and limited. Very, very, very good and limited. Really good and limited. Really good and limited. Really good and limited. A 4/4 for 4 with menace is really good and limited. And there's just seems to be a lot of just incidental mill going on. Incidental mill. And so Nimana Skitter-sneak, I think, as a 3/4 for 4 that can get strong later is great. Believe it or not, just so you know, this is not the creature. That's the creature. That's the Skitter-sneak. Because the assertion that this creature would be a rogue is silly. Yeah, you see he's little, ooh, he's going along. There he is. Nimana Skydancer. Now this is some art right here. Ooh, 2 and a black. For a flash flying human rogue, when Nimana Skydancer enters the battlefield, target opponent mills 2 cards. Constructed playable, limited playable. Nice. I genuinely think Dimir Flash Rogue is just a deck. It's a deck out of the box. You just look up Flash, sort by black, blue, and then just rogue. You know what I mean? I don't think that this is necessarily a sensational. Oh wait, it's a 3 mana card. Oh, I thought it was 2. I apologize. I feel horrible. I feel like I misled you. I said that this is a card that I would play in Constructed. How fruitless must be these words of mine that should attempt to beguile you from the grief of a loss so overwhelming. This is maybe a 2 out of 5 in Constructed. It's a meritful one. It's just not an amazing one. The same story in Limited. Has merit. Flash flying, 2 damage. I like my bats. This is kind of like a fancy bat. So, it's okay. All right. Maybe the greatest name in this entire set. Nullpriest of Oblivion. 1 and a black. For a 2/1 with menace and lifelink, already very good. It's a cleric, already very good. You can kick it for 4 more when Nullpriest of Oblivion enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. This is an awesome card. The kicker price is not a lot. 6 is about the top end of where I'm feeling comfortable with my consistency. Limited All-Star. One of the best cards in Limited. I mean, that's amazing. That's just an amazing card. It's also a Menace Lifelinker for 2. Incredible, both offensively and defensively in the very early game. Really good. I don't think it's that good constructed because a lot of the reanimation things that you want are just cheaper and you need to fill up your own graveyard. This is just such a good limited card, though. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oblivion's Hunger. Colorless and a black for an instant. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Draw a card if that creature has a +1/+1 counter on it. What is this black cares about +1/+1 counter nonsense? What? I mean, it's fine. If you can get a lot of +1/+1 counters in your big black deck, then maybe this will become a valuable card. But, I mean, either way, indestructible until end of turn is fine. It's a fine combat trick in Limited. It's a 1 out of 5 in Limited. It will wind up in your deck, but you're never going to be happy about it in your deck. Maybe when we get to green in part 3, maybe there'll be more. It has the word Pelakka in it. This is the best card in the set. Let's read what it does. Pelakka Predation. 2 in a black, and it's one of these flipper landers. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a card from it. With converted mana cost 3 or greater, that player discards that card. Oh! Oh my god! It's so good! Every single land spell card is so good! Holy shit! Oh my god. Oh, and I want to stress why these cards are so out of control. This card is a land. So, we can just reduce the total number of swamps in our deck, put in some Pelakka Caverns, and instead of just drawing a swamp, we can draw a discard a big thing spell. Oh, it's so good. Now, again, as a card, if this just were Pelakka Predation, discard a big thing for 3, I would say this is so bad that the entire design team should capsize. Right? But this design team is actually hot plasma. They get what they're doing. This is so cool. This is so tight. It makes me tuck myself in bed at night and just feel warm and happy. The tap land definitely kneecaps it a bit for sure, Onderin. Absolutely. But I think that the way that I would describe it is if you have built a deck and ignored all these kinds of lands, when you're done, you peel, like, say, 2 swamps out and put in 2 of these. Or peel 2 swamps out and put in the return things from your graveyard to the battlefield. You do something like that. So for instance, with this one, if I were going to be going like really, really late, if I were doing some sort of control deck, Pelakka Predation, obviously I don't want to have this as a spell itself late. But if I'm running less lands, because I'm running more of these dual land type things, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Scion of the Swarm. This card, I actually saw this card on Twitter. I saw a spoiler for it. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This card makes the least sense. Scion of the Swarm, 3 and double black for a vampire that is leading bugs. There is someone out there that loves vampires and loves bugs and is like, this card is perfect. I have always wanted to make an insect vampire deck. Creature, vampire, cleric, flying. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Scion of the Swarm. Actually kind of tight. Mosquitoes drink blood. Indeed. Ugh. Gross. There's a reason I left Kansas, man. Dude, the bugs in Kansas, like on a scale of California to Australia, Kansas is like here, okay? Like, there's substantial things that are alive everywhere that are large. So I don't like them. I want to get them out of there. Not into it. The fact that you can be gaining life with this and it can get bigger is nice. It's not unbelievable, but, bigger. It's okay. It's reasonable. And looks like there's some healing effects in Orzhov. That's okay. Some clerics doing a little lifelink. Honestly, 4/4 flyers are just always very scary and limited. Love it. In Constructed, I think it's a no out of 5. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Oh my. Oh, ow. I tried to use my neck at all. Oh, what a mistake. 1 and black. You can kick for an extra 5 for a total of 7. When you cast a spell, if it was kicked, each player loses half their life, rounded up. Scourge of the Skyclave's power and toughness are each equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players. Anytime I see something that is star, I get wiggly. You know what I mean? I get wiggly. It sucks if, say, you're against an aggro deck and you just can't deal any damage to them, because then it's a 0/0. Because again, it's the highest life total. 20 minus the highest life total. We do have a lot of lands that we can use to deal damage to ourselves, but we also need to be dealing damage to the other person. This is gonna be somewhere. This is gotta be somewhere, somehow, in some regard. It's gonna gotta. There's probably some weird bullshit that can happen in Vintage, but for the purposes of you and me, maybe like just a 3 out of 5. Maybe a 3 out of 5 in limited. I mean, I'll pick it because if I can, because it's rare that anyone stays at 20 health. I mean, even if you're down to 17, it's a 2-mana 3/3. It's something. I don't know. This seems okay in limited. This is this is unanalyzable in standard. This literally, we had OpenAI run a machine learning algorithm to compute the value of this card, and instead what it did is something, I don't know, funny or whatever. Shadow Stinger, 2 and a black. Creature, vampire rogue. Tap another untapped rogue you control. Shadow Stinger gains death touch until end of turn. Whenever Shadow Stinger deals combat damage to a player, that player mills 3 cards. This feels less amazing to me. This is not as cool. I mean, a 1/4 conditional death toucher. It's a good defensive rogue if you have more rogues. I might give this an above average limited rating, like a 2.2 out of 5. Doesn't freak me out in terms of excitement. It doesn't get me fist pumping. We'll never be running Constructed, right? It's just kind of clearly a limited card. Shadow's Verdict, 3 and double black. Exile all creatures and all planeswalkers with converted mana cost 3 or less from the battlefield, and all creature and planeswalker cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from all graveyards. Somebody hates Uro. Somebody hates Uro. They'll hate on those Rakdos Arcanist lists too. Croxa is out of here. That's good. This is the Ritualist of Sootists. The Ritualists of Sootists. This is... What can you do? It's also reasonably good just against any sort of on-death effect in white or green or black aggro mid-range decks. It's a little pricey. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 in Constructed. It's okay. It's a 3 out of 5 in Constructed. I'm playing a lot of Historic lately, so my brain's a little bit mushy. Languish is not part of Standard, so that's like not a thing. But, you know, this is kind of cool. Skyclave Shade. Where is the shade? Oh, I see what I'm looking at. Okay, so like here's fingers and an arm, and then here's the thing upside down, and it's just vomiting up its intestinal tract right there. That's what this is. So this is 1 and a black for 3/1. Okay. You can kick for 3. It can't block. Skyclave Shade was kicked. It enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it. Cool. All right. Can be a 5/3. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if Skyclave Shade is in your graveyard and it's your turn, you may cast it from your graveyard this turn. This card is very good and limited. It's not out of control because it can't block. It's just a smasher. But 5 damage is a lot. Drawing a land and smashing out Skyclave Shade again and again is really good. I'm actually going to give it a 5 out of 5 in limited. What do we think about this in constructed, huh? What do we think about this shit, huh? Like, what do we think about this shit? Depending upon how grindy Standard is, I mean, this might have some merit against control decks. You just play some Skyclave Shades, play a land, I mean, if you have a 3/1 and you play a land and then you just play another 3/1, and then you play another land and then you just play a 3/1, and then you just play another land and play a 3/1. I mean, it's like so great. It's also a cheap target for sacrifice. Yes, that's true. Thorin Twin, that's true. Yeah, I think this actually has some constructed merit. I'm going to give it a 3. Like, I can see this one kicking some real ass. Skyclave Shadowcat. It's a cat. I love it. 3 and a black for a cat horror. I always like to say horror. I like to have the extra roar at the end because I just don't want anyone to think I'm saying cat horror. It's really easy to be like, oh, it's a cat horror. And then someone's like, a cat what? And I'm like, a cat horror. But if I say a cat horror, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Catch my drift. Sacrifice another creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on Skyclave Shadowcat. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, draw a card. Ooh! Getting some of those +1/+1 counteronies in there. Okay. Seems alright. Pretty good limited, right? You know, it can occasionally get big, occasionally get there. If you target one of my dudes with a removal spell, I sacrifice it and get a bigger cat. Sacrifice all sorts of garbage and make bigger stuff. Does cost mana, which you hate to see it. Excuse me. Soul Shatter. 2 and a black. I like this art. It's like abstract. It's cool. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converted mana cost among creatures and planeswalkers they control. It's okay. I really am a big fan of sacrifice effects because once upon a time there was a hexproof enchantments deck where you just stack up a bunch of enchantments on one creature with hexproof. Geist of Saint Traft. It was, and those decks were like pretty sweet, but the only way to get around them was the sacrifice, right? The only way to get around them was the sacrifice. This is a weaker version. I really like this. Not as old as Boggles, not as old as the Boggles archetype, but picking off Dream Troll, picking off something like that. Anything like this that causes sacrifice effects is really nice. Angrath's Rampage was nice for this reason, and so on and so forth. Mutate with hexproof effects. It's instant speed. I can see some real merit. I'm still going to give it like a 1 or 2 out of 5 in constructed, but, it does stuff. Limited, it's removal. It's good. It does stuff, right? It's good removal. 5. 5 in removal. Subtle Strike. 1 and a black. Oh, I love this one. Choose one or both. Target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Perfect. Limited. Combat trick. Perfect. You hate this art. It's very What are we looking at? What are we looking at? Because, like, don't spiders normally bite with this? But what's this doing? What is this? What is this banana? It's weird. And yes, it is a reference to the scene in the Lord of the Rings books/movies where Frodo gets absolutely nibbled upon. Turned into a cocoon. Yeah, maybe this is here for scale. You're right, Lockwolf. This is a great combat trick in Limited. Absolutely not a constructed card. Largely, again, because we have no consistency of, is my opponent going to have creatures out? But in Limited, that is the case. Tabarax, Hope's Demise. Tabarax does sound like software that helps you do your taxes, though. 2 and a black for a flying 2/2. Tabarax, Hope's Demise has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Tabarax. If that creature was a cleric, you may draw a card. If you do, you lose 1 life. I drooled. This one is a good one. This one is a good one. This is a 5 out of 5 in Limited. I don't think it's very good in Constructed because, I mean, there's rarely been a cleric style deck, and if there is a cleric en masse, cleric tribal deck, you'll typically just see sweepers and shit like that. I mean, maybe Tabarax goes well in a pinging, draining Orzhov deck. If you're black-white and you're running Cruel Celebrants and Vetoes and stuff like this, maybe a lot of those are clerics. I'd have to go look again. But then all of a sudden, you can have all those clerics getting killed and just draw and do all that other good stuff. I mean, if you have Tabarax and a bunch of other clerics out, sweeping just refills your hand. It's pretty cool. I don't know. This has some merit in Constructed. I'm going to give it a 1. I'll give it a 2. Fourth the Grave. 4 and double black. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Return target creature card and up to 1 target cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Good. It's good. It's a good card. It's just good. This is like a limited 4. I'd give this a limited 4 for the following reason. 6 mana, return 2 things to the battlefield is nice. That's just really, really nice. 6 mana, return 2 things. Party, again, it feels like incidental upside. It's really nice. I mean, often you can just get like this for 4 or 5, no problem. See, return target creature card and up to 1 target this creature card from your group to the battlefield. It's great. This is nice. Get 2 things back. So, yeah. Vanquish the weak, destroy a baby creature. Perfect for Limited, trash and Constructed. 2 mana removal, reigns supreme and Constructed. Zoff consumption. Absolutely Zoff. 4 and double black. Each opponent loses 4 life and you gain 4 life. Still going to give this extremely high ratings in both Constructed and Limited. Because it's a free drain. It's a free drain. Yeah, this art is really, really gross. Really gross. I mean, this is... Ooh. This is the worst flippy land that we've seen. Look at this. It's got blood in the bog because the mosquitoes go above it and then they pop. Ooh, isn't that a fun image? Zoff consumption is certainly the worst, but, you know, I'd still run it. Have it get tapped. No big deal. Don't care. Ooh, better red than dead. Time to do the red cards. Because we did white-blue. Now we're going to do black-red. Then after the break, we're going to do green, multicolor artifact, and land. Wooburg Mall. Akoum Hellhound. A single red for an elemental dog. What a good dog. It's an 0/1 dog. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, Akoum Hellhound gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Oh, interesting. Keeps the red bent of aggression because this is an 0/1 on your turn. What a bad dog. But on our turn, it's a 2/3. What a good dog, right? Little spiky, little spicy. Feels nice. I like this. I like this quite a bit. Constructed. Okay, is this a constructed playable card? Ooh, okay, here's the thing about Standard. There's cards that are often like, due to the existence of card A, B, and C, this thing sucks. But if those cards were removed, this card would actually be playable. This kind of feels a little bit... like reasonable. It's reasonable enough because, like, you know, if there is an aggressive deck that has lots of landfall effects in it, this is, on the attack, a 2/3. And a 2 damage for 1 mana is great. Is really great. And landfall is not even really a downside, you know what I mean? Because you need to play the lands anyways. So, this dog has screw it. 5 out of 5, standard, all-star, the Akoum Hound is going to blow everyone's mind. I don't know. Akoum Warrior. A 4/5 for 6 with trample. Or land. Just love these cards. Absolutely love these cards. And when I say love, I want to stress 1,000 times, especially for these ones that enter tapped, you're probably just going to run 1 or 2 of them in a traditional constructed deck. But the fact that you have all these options now is just... it's just so good. It's just so good. So, love it. Love all these. They all get 5s. They all get gold medals and get to go home and say, I won! Mom, I won! Day9 gave it to me. Ardent Electromancer. 2 and a red for a human wizard. When Ardent Electromancer enters the battlefield, add red for each creature in your party. Burning Tree Emissary, welcome back. To be clear, if the Ardent Electromancer lands on an empty board, still generates 1 mana. Pretty cool, because Ardent Electromancer is a wizard in the party. Burning Tree Emissary is a 2/2 for 2 that can let you play more 2/2s for 2. And it's enough. And so I think that Ardent Electromancer has real constructed potential, but turn 3 is a lot later than turn 1 or turn 2. So I think that there is some possibility that you can chain Ardent Electromancers and just smash out 2-3 drops in 1 turn, something like this. So I have some faith in and confidence in Ardent Electromancer. Is Robber of the Rich rotating? I don't know. Is Robber of the Rich rotating? I don't know. Maybe even some weird Is It aggro style deck, because I hear Wizards and I think, maybe, yeah. Oh, it's not. Okay, cool. So that's your Rogue, right? And then I know Runaway Steamkin and Light Up the Stage is. So, yeah, you can put in some other 2-drop and just start smashing up in the face. Definitely think this is going to be good in Constructed. In Limited, this feels totally fine. You'll occasionally have your nut turn, but, you know, it's a 3/2 for 3 that helps with the partying. Cinderclasm. Oh, this one's great. 1 in red. Cinderclasm deals 1 damage to each creature. If it was kicked, it deals 2 damage to each creature instead. Really nice baby sweeper in red. Really nice instant speed baby sweeper in red. This is going to be a solid constructed card. It'll have its niche. It won't be format staple or something like this, but it's good. I hate this card in Limited. -2 out of 5 in Limited. I hate sweepers in Limited so much. They suck. You're red. You're building a board. You fucking blow up all your shit. It's terrible. I hate it in Limited. Don't value these cards in Limited, you nutcase. Don't do it. Don't do it. However, in Constructed, I if people are running a bunch of Felidar retreats, you can just get all those kitties dead. Cleansing Wildfire. Oh, I remember this one. 1 and a red. Destroy target land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle their library. Draw a card. If I am an aggressive landfall deck in red, play a land, cast Cleansing Wildfire, blow up one of my lands, play another land, draw a card. This is where I think this fits. If red landfall aggro is a list, this is a key card to it. If it's not, you never see it. Yeah, this feels like some nice landy, some dandy landy stuff going on. Let me scratch myself. That feels really nice. In Limited, also I think that this will be a good enabler for the landfall decks. Like maybe just like 2 out of 5. You don't pick a Cleansing Wildfire early to be like, yeah, let's go landfall. But I can imagine getting a couple good landfall cards, seeing Cleansing Wildfire and going, yeah, okay, this seems good. This seems good. This seems good. Expedition Champion, 2 and a red. Expedition Champion gets +2/+0 as long as you control another warrior. You will not be surprised to hear that I think this card is great in Limited. 4 out of 5. You're doing a warrior deck, this is the warrior you want in it. Big, bada, boom. This is a dumb sword, says Sunbrighton. It's very dumb. It's awfully dumb. It does have a way to open bottle caps on the back end. That's pretty nice in case you want to crack a cold one after cracking a skull open. But Expedition Champion being a 4/3 for 3, 4 power is a pretty rare inflection point, at least proportionally speaking. So I like this. In Standard, might be too slow. I tend to just view aggro as being all about 2, and then when I look at the 3 mana things, I'm like, is this better than Anax? No. But maybe there's some sort of interesting landfall warrior ramp bullshit garbage, who knows. Fireblade Charger, 1 red. Goblin Warrior. As long as Fireblade Charger is equipped, it has haste. When Fireblade Charger dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Oh, look at this one. There have been, what was the name of it? The Footlight Fiend, that when it dies, it pings for 1. That card showed up. That card had legs. This card will show up and have legs. I guarantee it. Especially if there's any good equipment that ever gets printed. Obviously, Embercleave is quite strong. But there's also, Steel Lance, Mace, or whatever it's called. There's been occasionally some cheap, good equipment that shows up. Also, it's a goblin, so there has some relevance there. But, seems like it maybe 1 out of 5 constructed. I'd also say that this is even maybe more meritful and limited, like a 3 out of 5. If you're a warrior deck and you're trying to get some equipment to support it, like what we've seen in white, I think this actually could be good, because you equip it with that 2/2 first strike flying thing. You swing in the skies, someone kills it, and then you zap for another 3. Pick someone off as it's going out. I think it has some real nice merit. Fisher Wizard, 1 and a red. When Fisher Wizard enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do draw a card. Total vanilla pack filler, who cares? It'll be in your deck, you'll cast it. Every now and again, it'll redraw a land into something nifty. Yeah! You don't run it in Standard. Goma Fada Vanguard. There's a few funky names. There's like 1 funky name per color. Goma Fada Vanguard. 1 and a red for a human warrior. Whenever Gomathata Vanguard attacks, target creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the number of warriors you control can't block this turn. Warrior decks. Oh, warrior decks. Love this, love this, love this. I mean, getting 2 of these is sick. I mean, Boros aggro decks are generally looking for you can't block, you get tapped, something like that. You might just do it, swing in 2 turns in a row with the full knowledge that you're just going to lose a creature on each attack. Also, the rocks in this background are just so cool. They're just so cool. What a cool image. Yeah, there's something about Boros Warriors that really has me excited. I really think Boros Warriors is maybe even going to be a constructed style thing-a-ring-a-roo. We'll figure it out. I don't know. What do we think about this in constructed? Maybe, yeah. Maybe, again, I'm giving it like a little 2 out of 5, kind of thing. You know, a little bit of 2 out of 5 kind of thing is what I'm thinking. You know, let's go on what I'm worried about. Whoa. Yeah, so I think 2 out of 5 constructed. 3 or 4 out of 5 limited. I like quite a lot. Grow Tag Bug Catcher. Oh, yeah. 1 in a red. 1/2 Trampler. Whenever a Grow Tag Bug Catcher attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each creature in your party. So this is a 2/2 for 2 Trampler. It's a goblin. Giblin Variar. That is a happy little bug. That is a bug having a good time. It's tummy time for this bug. I need to get a soundboard. I need to get a soundboard so that way I can record saying this card is mediocre but could be an enabler for a party card that you draft. And every time I see that, I just hit that, and every time I hit the button, it plays the audio 1% faster. So that way by the end we see Grow Tag Bug Catcher and it's just like, I'm gonna be a party over. Because I'm saying the same shit every time I see one of these. It's the same thing. It's like a 2/2 for 2 when it attacks, but will it go to 3/2 for 2? Probably. You know, it's the most generic, bland, more like Grow Tag bland bug. Grow Tag Night Runner, 2 in a red. It's a goblin rogue. Whenever Grow Tag Night Runner deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Limited out of 5. Limited out of 5. Limited out of 5. Whoa! Kind of cool that you have the red style card draw. Exile the top card of the library. You may play it. It's 2/3 for 3, which means it's a very blockable card. You have a lot of 1/3s and 1/4s. 3/2s you could trade away with. 3/3s that eat it directly. This seems rare to be in a situation where you would be able to smash past on turn 4 and deal damage and then cast a thing. 0 out of 5 in all formats. You hate to see this. It's pack filler. You wind up with 1. You'll get excited when you cast it. Be disappointed when you lose with it. Inordinate Rage. 1 in a red. Look how mad this bird minotaur is after seeing this rat steal his apple. Inordinate Rage. Target creature gets +3/+2 until end of turn. Scry 1. Infuriate. Scry 1. It's a fine combat trick. It's a limited card. We're seeing boring stuff. I'm so bored of these red cards already. Kargan Intimidator. 1 in a red. Now we're talking. It's a 3/1 for 3 human warrior. Cowards can't block warriors. Pay 1 mana. Choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Target creature becomes a coward until end of turn. I'm telling you, Boros Warriors is gonna be it. I'm into it. Maybe just mono red warriors. Kargan Intimidator gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Yes. Target warrior gains trample until end of turn. Yes. Let's make these cowards unable to block. Stay here. Just look at this card. Look at this card, you coward. I need coffee because I'm sleepy. I need some of that elite hot bean water. You know what I'm saying? Ah, yes. Refreshing on the hot bean water, baby. You know, hot bean water, coffee, you know what I mean? You can only make one coward per turn unless you have a pair of Kargan Intimidators. At which point, you're all cowards. 5 out of 5 limited. Love this card. Really good. Really, really nice. The ability to make things have trample, get big, become a coward. So good, so great. And you don't even have to attack with the Kargan Intimidator. He can just sit there and intimidate. 4 constructed, again, I'm going to call this a potential warrior deck out of 5. That's what I'm going to call it. It's a warrior deck out of 5. That's what I'm feeling with my feelings inside of my body and my bones. That's what I think. I think there's maybe going to be a warrior deck. Kazul's Fury. 2 in a red is an additional cost. To cast this spell, sack a creature. Kazul's Fury deals damage equal to the sacked creature's power to any target. It's a fling. It's a fling. It's a fling, it's a fling, it's a fling. And a land. It can be a land. Oh, yeah. Oh my god, that's actually so cute. So yeah, there's this person on top. And there's a person about to throw him over the cliffs, and then they both topple over the cliffs, you know what I mean? I locked a single fly in this room with me. It's terrible. You know, and this is the thing, is that, like, I genuinely think you could be a mono-red deck and just run 2 Kazul's Fury or some shit and just fling bodies straight into the face, right? You have your... it does suck that it comes into play tapped. It does suck, but... You know what? If there is even one more turn of wiggle room, Kazul's Fury becomes a real threat in mono-red. This is so great. 10 out of 5. Love it. Love Kazul's Fury. Love the flip lands across the board. Leyline Tyrant. 2 double red for a 4/4. Flying. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. When Leyline Tyrant dies, you may pay any amount of red. When you do, it deals that much damage to any target. You play the Leyline Tyrant. You start accumulating red mana until you have like 30 red mana. Leyline Tyrant dies. You pay that 30 to hit them in the face for 30. Float on all turns. Look at this. Leyline Tyrant. Yes. The best card we've seen yet. Guaranteed. Love it. Love this card. 5 out of 5 and 5 out of 5. Iradium says, wait, does this stay between turns? Of course. Of course. Your end step ends. Their upkeep step begins. I guess their untapped step begins. And then your mana just still... Turn still white mana, though? What? What? It still wipes when your turn ends? What? No, I think it carries from turn to turn. It doesn't carry from turn to turn? What? Okay, here's a question. If it carries from turn to turn, type in all caps, it carries from turn to turn. Yeah, it does carry. No, because I was like 95% positive. Otherwise, this is the dumbest, most worthless garbage card, and I'm going to call the president and have them fire the Wizards team. It carries. Yeah, no, it carries. It carries. Who are you doubters out there? Who are you doubters out there who look at something fun and go, there's probably nothing fun about it. In fact, I bet the rule says you're not allowed to have fun. Perk up? This is Day 9 TV, where once upon a time we learned to be a better gamer, but now the way in which we learn to be a better gamer is not through winning. It's through having the fuck out of some fun at all points in time. Here we go, okay? Leyline Tyrant is absolutely going to be the build up the red mana and blow you up. Build up the red mana. Rules 106.3 only uses steps and phases to white mana. Alright, once again, ask for permission to post links, my friendos. Wilderness Reclamation got banned, so there's no way this will get banned. Tight. Obviously 5 out of 5 in Constructed and Limited. For Limited, it's a flying 4/4 that when it dies, you can blow shit up. So it's a 2-in-1 built in. In Constructed, it could be a win condition. It's pretty cheap flyer. Win condition built in. It's really nice. This is really, really, really good. Shady Bobs says, man, this card was supposed to be in Standard with Fires of Invention. That's so whack. I think that with cards like this was one of the motivations for them to ban it. Wish you'd love to see it. Magmatic Channeler. 1 in a red for a rare human wizard. As long as there are 4 more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, Magmatic Channeler gets +3/+1. Holy shit! A 2-mana 4/4? What? For just 4 instants and sorceries? Discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. Okay, yeah, sure. Who cares? I mean, this card is insane. This card is insane, man. A 1/3 for 2 is already great. I mean, this is top tier Standard, top tier Constructed. Damn. Nice. Hell yeah. Loving this. If there is especially any sort of instant or sorcery based Dekaruha, is Electromancer rotating? I don't know. Top tier art too? Oh yeah, this art is gorgeous. Lots of sweepy swirlies around the powerful girly. I mean, God. Electromancer rotates. Boo! Molten Blast. 2 in a red. Choose 1. Molten Blast deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker or destroy target artifact. Okay. Okay. Really. I mean, this is an inspiringly good card to have. In case you didn't know, there is a card called Abrade, which is deal 3 damage or destroy an artifact. And Abrade is fucking premium stuff. This is, I think, a more balanced Abrade, where instead of dealing 3 damage, it's deal 2 damage. And also having the destroy target artifact effect. But Abrade was almost this, like, invisible wall for artifacts, right? Where people would go, ooh, I have a cool idea for an artifact deck. Well, maybe I shouldn't, because if people are running Abrades, then, you know, that's going to get on out of there. I think Molten Blast is a much more fair Abrade. Because I think that if your opponent has an artifact out and you're thinking, how the hell do I destroy that artifact? That sentence is only spoken in the most fucked positions in Magic the Gathering. Okay? If there's a creature out and you're like, oh gosh, how do I kill that creature? You're just playing a game of Magic, that's fine. Oh god, how do I destroy that artifact? It's an Immortal Sun, okay? It's an Immortal Sun. So, I think this is one of those things where the modality is going to help so much, where you're going to have someone who will... artifacts will be really strong in the set, and as a red player, you will run some really good red removal, like maybe Red Cat Melees, maybe something like Scorching Dragonfires, but then you'll put in 2 Molten Blasts, just so you have a little extra redundancy against the aggro decks, but so you can kill these artifacts. So this is a beautiful sideboard card. Against, in Limited, you know, honestly, I would just give this a 2 out of 5 in Limited. Deal 2 damage effects. I'm always like, Okay. It's when I get to deal 3 damage that I begin to fist pump through the roof. Yeah. Marauding, Fury of Akum. 1 and a pair of reds for a Minotaur warrior. Keep in mind, it is a party guy. It's a 6/6 for 6. You love to see it. Each creature you control gets +1/+0 for each time it is attacked this turn. When would it get to attack again this turn? Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. If it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. At the beginning of that combat, untap all creatures you control. This was the landfall deck I built when it showed on the Mythic Invitational. I had a whole bunch of landfall token generators like Scoot Swarm and Felidar Retreat. Make a whole bunch of 1/1s and 2/2s. Then play Marauding and smash more lands down to get another 2 or 3 attack phases. Oh yeah, you can +1/+0, +2/+0, +3/+0, +4/+0, +5/+0. Feels so nice. Feels so nice. It is dope in a way that things haven't been dope for in a long time. I love this shit. This is awesome. You can also see that my set review is degenerating into just excitement. I cannot fucking wait for Thursday. It's going to be so good. Mwah. Mwah. Thursday's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Tomorrow's going to be a good day, too. Reminder that tomorrow at noon, we're doing a special show from noon to 4. We're going to do 2 hours of jank action with Noxious, jank card review, and jank games, and then 2 hours of standard action with Luis Scott Vargas. We're going to be talking about the greatest cards coming in and getting out of standard, playing a little standard, and then doing a draft together. That'll be tomorrow. That'll be good shit. You'll see it on the little rotation thing, on the carousel. Alright. I like Marauding, Fury of Akum. I don't actually think it's that amazing in standard, but, you know, there's things like Finale of Devastation that have gotten there. I think Marauding can get there. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in standard and a 5 out of 5 in limited. An absolute bomb in limited. Nahiri's Lithiforming. Whoa! We got some cool words popping out. X in double red. Sack X lands. For each land sacked this way, draw a card. You may play X additional lands this turn. Lands you control enter the battlefield tap this turn. Holy wow. Okay, so this is like fair scape shift. This is amazing. I actually think that this is both 5 out of 5. Okay, so I'm going to call it 5 out of 5 in limited. Why? No, I'm going to call it 4 out of 5 in limited because I think that if you, say, got to 7 mana, you could Lithiform to sack 5 lands and just draw 5 more cards and try to start rebuilding again and just get better cards. Because I think that sometimes you'll have like 10 lands. You don't need 10 lands, so you sack 8, draw, then you play 5, but you have other spells as well, so you shrank in lands and grew in cards. That's why I think this is going to be nice and standard. Especially, your pal Sean is going to be doing Naya Landfall. I think we've talked about this. Naya Landfall is going to be happening for me on Thursday. You know what I mean? Naya Landfall. So good. Holy crap, I am feeling this card, and I'm feeling myself. Oh, yes. Pyroclastic Hellion. I almost said Helion, but it's a Hellion, not a Helion. It's a Zealot, not a Zealot. It's a Grenadier, not a Grenader. Okay? Mispronunciations from childhood RTS games carry onward as adults. Pyroclastic Hellion, 4 and a red. When Pyroclastic Hellion enters the battlefield, you may return a land you control to its owner's hand. When you do, Pyroclastic Hellion deals 2 damage to each opponent, and it's a 4/5. Hey, this is a nice little limited land card. This is a nice little limited land card, right? It's a 4/5 for 4, and you get a land back that you can play again. That's pretty cool. Also, your modal lands, you know, I'm a spell on the front, I'm a land on the back. I had to play you on turn 1 to ramp out. I play a Pyroclastic Hellion, it comes right on back. Big bada boom, played as a spell. There it is. There it is. So cool. Yeah, it's a nice little limited card. I might give it like a 4 out of 5. Feeling a little generous right now because I'm coming off the high of Nahiri's Lithiforming. Yeah, Pyroclastic Hellion, you're going to get a 4 out of 5. And limited, if you show up, you're grounded. 0 out of 5. Relic Robber. 2 and a red for a rare Goblin Rogue. 2/2 with haste. Nice. Whenever Relic Robber deals combat damage to a player, that player creates an 0/1 colorless Goblin construct artifact creature token with this creature can't block. And at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. Guys. Chandra Awakened Inferno rotated out, so it's time to have Chandra Awakened Robber for 3. This card is just like fucking good. Definitely fun, but more importantly, I think very, 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 very good. It's a Chandra emblem on a creature, Lloyd Smith. You got it right. That's great. This is the sort of thing that against a control deck where, you know, formerly we were interested in doing things like the Goblin Mentor, Legion Warboss. Legion Warboss is perfect for bonking it against control decks. You know, like Azorius, Esper, Jeskai, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, this is terrific against control decks, right? Like you play turn 1, turn 2 threats, start going in there. And then they clear the board, bam, you smash a Relic Robber, start hitting them in the face. I can even imagine if I'm like a Jeskai deck in a control versus control matchup, I would play Relic Robbers in the sideboard and bring them in and smash in. I mean, the guarantee of dealing 1 damage per turn is sick. Just to make sure everyone understands how this works. I attack. My opponent now has an 0/1 Goblin Construct that deals a damage to them every turn. I think this is a really, really nice sideboard card. And it's incredible. Torbrand time? Yeah. Yeah, this is just going to be a staple in red. This is just a staple. 5 out of 5 constructed. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, unbelievable, unbelievable. I mean, this is an astoundingly good card. By the way, I think this is an extraordinarily similar to Legion Warboss card. Just really similar. Legion Warboss, it's a 2/2, so if you swing with it, and they have like a 2/3, you can't attack. It gets shut down a lot. But when is Legion Warboss good? It's really, really, really good. Oh yeah, Torbrand doesn't do anything. That's right, that's right. Anyways. Yeah, Legion Warboss, when is it good? When your opponent has boarded out certain sweepers, or if you are a mono red deck and you're looking for a single red card that can win the game. This is amazing. The Magical Sazerac says, you think this is a sideboard card more than main decking? I think it's really similar to Legion Warboss. I think it's really, really similar to Legion Warboss. Really, really. Where could be sideboardable as I'm a Jeskai deck, and against you, the control deck, I run a bunch of Relic Robbers. Or it could be I'm a mono red deck that's including these because I feel really good about the rest of my cards' abilities to smash through. Obviously, this is straight plasma in limited. It's a little trickier in limited, but I mean, if you can just get a pinger down, super good. All right, Rock Slide Sorcerer, 3 and a red. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery or wizard spell, Rock Slide Sorcerer deals 1 damage to any target. 5 in limited. 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Oh my god, looks incredible. in this set is it looks incredible. Oh, yeah. Whenever you just... I mean, you're board building. I want to play another wizard, and you ping-pong with the Rock Slide Sorcerer. Oh! 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 Yeah. We don't even have to remember to tap and untap the Lobber Crew. Yes! Okay. Rock Slide Sorcerer. 3/3 for 4. Love these stats. Great. Terrific limited. Far too slow and constructed. 4 mana to be able to begin to ping. Don't get out of here, man. That's like way too slow, man. We even have cool things like electrostatic fields that we've been historically able to play on turn 2, so get on out of there. Royal Eruption. 1 and a red for a sorcery with kicker 5. Holy shit. Royal Eruption deals 3 damage to any target. If the spell is kicked instead, it deals 5 damage. Five out of 5 constructed. Stunning. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Staple red. Best card I've seen. This is great. Holy shit. Holy shit. Stunning. Sorcery. Don't even give a shit. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning, man. It's incredible. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorcery speed. You always want instants, but I mean, the fact that this is any target 3 damage to face, planeswalker, creature, can kick it to deal 5 damage. Oof, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 7 mana deal 5 damage is actually pretty sick, Kraid. It's actually pretty sick. I mean, that's... Wish it was Fight with Fire. Everyone wishes everything was Fight with Fire. Yeah, I mean, this is 5 out of 5 limited, 5 out of 5 constructed. Really great. I mean, the thing is, whenever there's a rotation, one of the sort of big things that I think about, or that I should say that one thinks about during rotation, how do things slow down? You know, we lose shock lands. 2-color decks automatically get a lot slower because it's hard to have consistency with the curve. There's a lot of lands that enter tapped outside of monocolors, things like this. There's just a general slowing of things when you have removed a lot of the most powerful threats and the most powerful sweepers and the most powerful answers. But when you have, you know, when you're looking through this and there's that presumed slowness, and you see a card that screams red burn, you get happy. You become a happy camper. Is Baby Chandra rotating? Is she staying in here? Baby Chandra is... You know, she's War the Spark, isn't she? Yeah, they're all War the Spark, aren't they? She's M20? Really? Oh, that's right. M20 was 3 Chandras, all of which that I love. They're gone. That sucks. But hey, an Historic Chandra can cast this bad boy. I really like this card. This is exceptional. It's really to any target. There's a lot of deal 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker, like Scorching Dragonfire, like Fire Prophecy, you know, where there's like some limitation to it, right? That's cool. But Royal Eruption can hit the face. Fuck yeah. Roiling Vortex. Oh, this is cool. 1 in a red. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Roiling Vortex deals 1 damage to them. I love that. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast that spell, Roiling Vortex deals 5 damage to that player. 1 red, your opponents can't gain life this turn. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. You know? Oh, man. Oh, man. This card probably sucks, but I'm going to try so hard to make this... Oh, I'm going to try so hard to make this work, man. Oh my god, I'm gonna try to make it work so much. So much, dude. Look, if it just said at the beginning of each player's upkeep, Roiling Vortex deals 1 damage to him. If that was the entire text on the card, I would try to make it work. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent, Roiling Vortex deals 5 damage to them. When does this happen? Bolus's Citadel. Or, there are some 0 mana things like Mox Amber or Ornithopter or any of that stuff. But, like, also, if you're against some sort of control life gain deck, often you will be able to, as the red player, start off and ping at the outset of the game, and then you smash a Roiling Vortex, and they won't really have an answer to it. Actually, this card is going to be spectacular. This is, I think, going to be a 5 out of 5 standard card and will exist in Constructed. Due to the fact that, let's say I am a mono-red aggro player and I'm against a traditional Esper control. I will start off, I'll bonk in the face for a little bit of damage, then play a Roiling Vortex. And typically, if you are Esper control versus mono-red, you might be boarding out things that can destroy enchantments. So I play this Roiling Vortex, and then I'm just pinging you for 1 damage a turn. If I've just set you to like 12 health and I'm at 20, and we just tick our way down, anytime you try to heal up, just pay a red and deny it. This is a really nice card. This is a really nice card. I really, really like this. In Limited, I'd give this a bad rating. I'd just want another creature. I would just want another creature. Yeah. I think I'd give this 5 in Constructed. I love this. Scavenged Blade. 1 and a red. Whenever Scavenged Blade enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature. Equip creature gets +2/+0. You can equip it for 3. This is like a card that you would use in an example pamphlet. How does magic work? There's a type of card called an enchantment. Whenever the Scavenged Blade enters the battlefield, you equip it to a creature. Equip creature gets +2/+0, and you can equip it for another 3. I mean, this is so basic. It's really basic. It's really basic. All right. Well, I'm going to give it the most basic evaluation. Don't play this card. Scorch Rider, 3 and a red. Kick for an additional 2. When Scorch Rider enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it gains haste until end of turn. Very mediocre limited card. Very irrelevant. Did I say enchantment? You fucking know what I meant. Whatever. Scorch Rider, yeah, very mediocre. Very mediocre limited. 1 out of 5, maybe 2 out of 5. Very, very, very blah. I mean, it's not even Havoc Devils with Trample. The art's nice, but no. Not Constructed playable. I'm not even happy to see this in Limited. Occasionally, I'll kick it to hasten and win the game, and that is hilarious. Shatter Skull Charger. Ooh, 1 and a pair of reds. It's a giant warrior for 4/3. Can we appreciate the fact that it's another warrior? Trample haste 4/3? What? If Shatter Skull Charger was kicked, it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, if Shatter Skull Charger doesn't have a +1/+1 counter on it, return it to its owner's hand. Oh, man. Oh, man. Whoa. Whoa. That's really good. That's really, really good. Here's the thing. Think in Constructed. I'm going to give it a 5 in Constructed, and here's why. Something that you really like in Constructed is some stability versus sweepers. I play a 1 mana 1/1. I play a 2 mana 2/2. And then on turn 3, I play the Shatter Skull Charger. We all smash in, and then it returns back to the hand. So now you, the control player, maybe you were getting ready to cast a sweeper. You cast it, play the Shatter Skull Charger again and bash. Play the Shatter Skull Charger again and bash. Really nice aggressive card against control decks where I can just continuously replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it. Hell, even being able to pay 5 to have it be a 5/4 Charger is really nice. Red has some good shit. Red has some real good shit. This is nice. This is some nice stuff. This is a nice stuff, dude. 4/3 trample haster that bounces to the hand is nice. It's good stuff. Oopsie doopsie daisies. Shatter Skull Minotaur. This thing shatters skulls. This thing shatters skulls. Shatter Skull Minotaur. 4 and a pair of reds. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Has haste. I'm so tired of giving evaluations for these cards that are common party benefiters. I don't want to evaluate this card. I don't want to do it. I'm not interested in this card. I'm not interested in this card. Look at how big and brash this Minotaur is. This gets a party out of 5 in limited and a -2 out of 5 in constructed. Shatter Skull Smashing. Shatter Skull Smashing deals X damage divided as you choose among up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. If X is 6 or more, Shatter Skull Smashing deals twice X damage divided as you choose among them instead. And it's a land that comes into play untapped. Lloyd Smith 28 says it right. This is some good bone crushing, you know what I mean? Whoa. I mean, this is... You see this card as someone that likes X-cost spells, and you just want to start singing. Feels so good. Oh, look at this. You could be a control deck, like what I like to do. Naya ramp decks. That's what I like. I'm into this shit. And then I run a Shatter Skull Smashing. So we landfall out some more Felidar retreats, and then you know what we do? We maybe get another Shatter Skull Smashing, and then we just blow up all the shit that's in the way. We're going to access Kataradi says, how do these cards work? In your hand, graveyard, and library, this is a sorcery card. Someone looks in your hand to discard a non-land spell, they can discard this, because it's a sorcery. What's the converted mana cost of this spell in the hand, graveyard, and library? It's that. It's this. Oh, let me just angle my hand. It's that number up there. Okay? But instead of casting it as a spell, you can flip it around, slam it on down as a land. And then once it's on the battlefield, it is this land. So anything that says destroy a land, return a land to the owner's hand, any of that. It works great. Yeah, so thought seizing a land is going to be a hilarious, agonizing consequence of playing these types of cards in Historic. Okay. So I love these cards. These cards are so good. And the way that I will describe them is your mana base is going to look very weird because all the good tap lands are rotating out. So what you'll probably do is have a mixture of, say, forests and mountains. And then you're going to cut 2 of those mountains and put in 2 Shatter Skull Smashings. Something like this. Sizzling Barrage. This is what happens whenever I post a photo of my abs on Twitter. When I get to the notifications, I get this. Damage. Sizzling Barrage, 1 and a red. Sizzling Barrage deals 4 damage to target creature that blocked this turn. Oh, interesting. It's not attacked or blocked like that white effect. It is the red, only a creature that blocked this turn. Not quite as efficient as a Lava Coil at killing shit. You don't play this constructed. You don't play this constructed. If you do, you make a mistakey. You don't do it. This is a limited out of 5. This is fine. It's only good if I'm attacking. Even in limited, I look at this and I go, it sucks. This is just not that great. Look at my brow. Look at my eyebrows. Do you see me? I'm looking at this card and I'm... No. Get out of here. It's not even a limited out of 5. It's just like a limb out of 5. It's a bad card. It's bad, sad, bad. All of these little lizards are us yelling at you who picked this card for your draft. Get the hell out of here. Skyclave Geopede. 2 and a red. Trample. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Skyclave Geopede gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Nice card to have in a landfall deck. This is the uncommon to look for. Love it. 3-1 for 3 with trample. Oh, okay, that's okay. But when you start landfalling out, making this guy a big, thick centipede. Let's not forget our Akon Hellhound, our 1-mana 0-1 dog that gets +2/+2 whenever landfall happens. This is the other little piece that could get you all crushing with your landfall red aggro. I think that there is some legs. Sneaking Guide. That doesn't look like his head. That looks like some other creature's head. This is the person that had the wrong address for the Halloween party on campus and is just trying to find their way around to feel included. Sneaking Guide, a single red for a 1/1. Pay 2 and tap. Target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Oh, target creature 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Interesting. Limited out of 5, 0 out of 5 constructed. Nice card in limited if you have a threatening creature such as Relic Robber. Can't be blocked, swing in, leave those bombs there. I think that there's good enough 2 damage creatures in here that this could actually be some real help in terms of closing the game out in limited. Song Mad Treachery. Love it. There's always some effect that's gain control of a creature, untap, and haste it on in. Oh yeah. Excellent. Song Mad Treachery. This is so great. This is so great. And it's a land. Look at this. It's a land. There's a battlefield tapped. Yeah, I mean, this is just a good card in limited. You don't, probably not going to run this in constructed. It's pricey, but again, these cards you should not evaluate as, oh, this is active treason, but more expensive. You should evaluate it as a land. That occasionally you draw your mountain and instead of playing it, you take control of something. I genuinely think people are going to build decks with like 20 total land, 7 of which are these 2-sided flippers. It's nice. It's going to be NICE. Nice, nice, nice. I cannot wait to play limited in this. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be great. Spikefield Hazard. Ooh, don't you hate when this happens, when a stalagmite falls in your... Stalactite. Which one's up and which one's down? Stalactite is C for ceiling. There it is. Tight. Stalagmite for it's on the ground. Spikefield Hazard, a single red. Spikefield Hazard deals 1 damage to any target. If a permanent dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. Holy shit, these cards are good. Oh my god, Spikefield Hazard. Whoo. Whoo, whoo, oh my goodness. This might be, in mono red, the one that you include 4 of. This might be good. It's 1 damage to any target. It's 1 damage to any target. Is the other player a permanent? Exile yourself from the entire playing hall. I mean, this is great. Spikefield Cave. Spikes! Spitfire Lugok. 3 in a red. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Spitfire Lugok deals 1 damage to each opponent. Very good card. Very, very good card. Dude, 3/4 for 4 is nice, and you just start... This is good in limited, terrible in constructed. Absolutely terrible. You don't want to run this. Run a Felidar Retreat and switch to white. There you go. Let's get those little baby cats a going. Synchronized Spellcraft. 4 in a red. Synchronized Spellcraft deals 4 damage to target creature and X damage to that creature's controller, where X is the number of creatures in your party. What can you do? This is a removal spell. It will be used as a removal spell in Limited. Every now and again you go, oh, I didn't know this was a cleric. And you'll deal 1 damage to the face. Teeter-peak Ambusher, 1 in a red. Teeter-peak Ambusher gets +2/+0 until end of turn for a 1/3. You're no goblin, Banneret. It's fine. It's fine. If you were a, say, like a Is-It deck that was going for more of like spelliness and you just wanted like a 2-drop that was defensive enough, Teeter-peak Ambusher seems like it's defensive enough. Doesn't seem amazing. This is just limited pack-filling Drek. That's it. Drek is the new word of the day. Look it up. Use it in your home. And tell me how it goes. Thundering Rebuke. 1 in a red. Thundering Rebuke deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. This could be... Here's why I don't think that this will necessarily be in Standard very much. It's due to that Royal card that we looked at. The Wriggly Royal, whatever it was. The card that was deal 3 damage to any target and could be kicked to 5. Now, historically, we have seen that when there were many 3 damage effects in Standard, Lava Coil comes along, dealing 4 damage, and people lost their minds because it was just enough to get rid of the really key obnoxious 4 toughness things in Standard. And it would exile the thing that it killed. Thundering Rebuke doesn't do the exile effect, and it has Royal as a kind of competing for the same slot. So I think only if there are precisely 4 toughness things that are ruining lives everywhere, only in that very narrow circumstance, does Thundering Rebuke seem like a relevant and good card. It hits planeswalkers, but again, Royal also hits planeswalkers. So that's why I think it's hard for me to imagine Rebuke being picked over Royal. Again, unless there's like 4 loyalty planeswalkers, 4 toughness creatures that are ruining lives and searing minds. Thundering Spark Mage, 3 in a red. A human wizard. When Thundering Spark Mage enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, where X is the number of creatures in your party. Non-constructed, but in Limited, I do think that this is often going to be just deal 2 damage, and I think it's fine. I think it's a fine card. It deals 1 damage itself because it's a wizard. But outside of that, absolument pas. It's just an Is-It top end. I really love Is-It spelly stuffs. So the idea of having Is-It wizards for disable, taps, redraw, cheap spells, stuff like this. Definitely think Is-It's going to have some real gas in this set. Tormenting Voice. You know, I feel like this art depicts the feeling of typing in someone's chat and having the broadcaster call you out or tell you that you're wrong. You just got to be a little careful as a broadcaster because there's a sharp imbalance in the power dynamic. I have a microphone and an audience. You have a username and some text. I'm in a position of much more power. I got to be really careful and be very gentle and whisper and reassure and things like this. Otherwise, it can feel like this. Also, I have a feeling people are going to play this card. There we go. Tuk-tuk, Rubble Fort. Tuk-tuk, Rubble Fort. 2 in a red. Defender, reach. Creatures you control have haste. Tuk-tuk, Rubble Fort. Tuk-tuk, Rubble Fort. Again, I think Is-It with some flyers and some wizards are going to be nice. And I think that the Tuk-tuk, Rubble Fort is kind of a nice version of warded battlements. Right? It's a defender. It can block stuff. Can give you a little bit of extra aggression in there. I like this card. But I only like it as like a 23rd card, a 22nd card. It's also very fun to say, so that immediately bumps it up a notch. Tuk-tuk, Rubble Fort. Valakut Awakening. First of all, it's one of these. Put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library. Then draw that many cards plus 1. Nice. Just nice. Don't ask me twice. This is nice. This is Tormentingest Voice. Right? You just look at your whole hand. You can discard 3 things, or I should say put 3 things from the bottom, and put Valakut Awakening in the graveyard, and draw 4 cards. Because remember, Valakut Awakening is one of the cards, and then if you discard 3, you basically replace everything. So it's kind of just like a loot style thingaroo-ha. But I love it. I love it. Feels nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just think that all these cards are going to be really good. All I'm ever going to do whenever I am finished building a deck with basic lands is I'm going to be like, and could I maybe add Valakut Awakening or Sensor Land or some such thing? Okay. Okay, Valakut Exploration, here we go. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of your library. You may play it for as long as it remains exiled. At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, put them in their owner's graveyard. Then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent. So I could play a bunch of land, get like 6 things in exile, play 1, and then at the end of the turn I deal 5 to you because there's 5 hands, 5 cards in the in exile. So I really think that Valakut Exploration is going to be great. I think it's a 4 out of 5 in standard. It's going to be really fun. I'm at the very least going to love it. I'm at the very least going to just make this idiot work. It's so fun and good. And frankly, it's just card draw. Play a bunch of land, draw a bunch of cards, play a bunch of land, draw a bunch of cards. Didn't cast it? No big deal. All of them deal damage to the opponent's face. If you have more than one of these out, how does it work? Let's think about this. Yeah, so the way it works is when a land, if you have 2 of these, imagine it says Valakut Exploration A and Valakut Exploration B, okay? Anytime you see the name of a card, what it means is this card, me. So you can think of, let's say I played 2 land. Valakut Exploration A would exile, Valakut Exploration B would exile, and then Valakut Exploration A would exile a second one, Valakut Exploration B would exile a second one. So you'd have 2 exiled with each. At the beginning of end step, if there are any cards exiled with this card, put them into their owner's graveyard, then this card deals that much damage to each opponent. So Valakut Exploration A, it would resolve. 2 would go to the bin, dealing 2 damage. Valakut Exploration B would resolve. 2 would go to the graveyard, dealing 2 damage. So there's no sort of mutual overlappiness. They're each dealt with as sort of independent cards. So, shoot you in the face for a shitload. Pretty sick. I love this. What do we think about this in Limited? I think this is also really good in Limited. Because you play a land, and then you get another thing, and you can just keep playing creatures, get extra card draw, and shooting people in the face. I love it. I love it. Wayward Guide Beast. A single red for a 2/2 with Trample Haste. Whenever Wayward Guide Beast deals combat damage to a player, return a land you control to its owner's hand. What? This is unevaluatable. Because imagine you play a mountain on turn 1, play Wayward Guide Beast, attack with it, and then it just comes back. I think this card sucks ass. I think this card sucks ass. This card's terrible. This card sucks. It's so bad. Right? What about in a landfall deck? When would he be good in a landfall deck? That's the thing. That's the pickle right there. Because here's where I'm at. Obviously, if you play this turn 1, it swings, hit, you bounce the land. Play a land again, swing, hit, return the land. So if I'm playing Wayward Guidebeast on turn 1, I just keep returning the 1 land to the hand. So I get stuck on 1 land for several turns, which seems stupid. Maybe I wait till turn 2 to swing with the Wayward Guidebeast. And then I go down to 1 land again? I don't know. It seems fucking weird in that regard. So then we might say, okay, well, what if later when you have like 8 lands and you have landfall mechanics out and you want to play the Wayward Guidebeast and you don't care if you're returning the land back to the hand because you just want to replay it so you can trigger landfall. Well, in that situation, when are you going to be able to swing in with a 2/2 comfortably? Seems like so weird. This card's garbage. This is the hill I'm dying on. I think this card is so bad that Wizards is going to ban the card just to make sure that new players don't accidentally include it and have no fun. This card sucks. SUXX sucks. It sucks in limited, and it stinks in constructed. Landfall aggro? Oh, Onderin. Oh, how cool is that going to be? Here, I'm a landfall aggro deck. Turn 1. Bam! Actually, wait, no, that does make a little bit of sense, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe that makes some sense. Well, that's okay. Let me backpedal a little bit. This card sucks. I'm a landfall aggro deck. What am I going to do? Turn 1, here it comes. Play a mountain, turn it sideways. Play the Wayward Beast, turn it sideways. Take the mountain back because we dealt combat damage. I have no land and a tap 2/2. Pass the turn to you. Other player plays tap land, passes it back to me. Oh, here we go, okay? Play that mountain again. Play a second Wayward Beast, attack with both. Return the mountain down to no fucking land twice. 2/2/2s, turn sideways, feeling good. Next turn, opponent plays another land. Hey, we're doing pretty good. Our opponent's already down to 14. My turn. Play a land. I'm out of 1-drops. Attack with 2/2/2s. Return that mountain right on back. But wait, I thought about this, and I tapped my mountain for extra mana, and then when my guys hit, I passed to my second main phase and the mana burned off. I replay the 1 mana. Pass a turn to you, dude. You play a 3rd mana, you play Cry of the Carnarium or any sweeper, and you kill all my shit. Day 9 was right. Oh, Day 9 was right. Day 9 was... Why am I running this card? I can't believe this card even exists. This should be a common. Not a good card, period.